Hello everyone, this is Daniel M. Benson. I want to answer some questions about fantasy biology. You sent me so many questions. We didn't have time to talk about almost any of them during our fantasy biology panel at Worldcon, but now Worldcon's over and I have some time to go back and look at them. The one I want to talk about today is Davrial's question: would a griffin be classified as an avian or a mammal? So that's a really interesting question because it's combining fantasy with taxonomy. Taxonomy, of course, could mean many things. In this case, when you usually say it, you're talking about biology. In biology, taxonomy is an animal's most recent common ancestors. And that doesn't really work when you're talking about griffins, which are an invention of the imaginations of classical age people. They don't have an evolutionary history. They're just an eagle and a lion fused together. So the first thing that comes to my mind is what if we had an actual bird? Birds are what we call anything that has the same recent common ancestor as between, say, an ostrich and an eagle. This would be some flying creature that lived in the late Cretaceous. Um, and what if you had something like that? What if, in fact, you had an eagle? And the eagle, for whatever reason, evolved to fill the niche of a lion. So lions are big predators on tropical grasslands. They they have to be large, so flight probably isn't an option, and they will then have to get around on their legs, and so the legs have to be long, they have to be powerful, their claws are going to be short because they won't be used for grabbing prey anymore. You might grab prey a little bit with the wings. A lot of birds, more than you think actually, have claws on their wings, although I don't think eagles do. It's possible they could re-evolve it. It would have to have a longer neck and a longer head and beak in order to reach out and grab its prey. And congratulations, we've reverse engineered a Phobos racid, a terror crane. They lived in South America until fairly recently. You couldn't go look them up. And that's kind of boring. You know, I don't want to reinvent a real animal. So I'm thinking, what if it really was a quadruped? Birds can't orient their palms down the way we can. The palms have to be facing inward, but it can still walk on its knuckles. That would keep its claws out of the way of the ground, and they wouldn't get blunt. It would have these big, powerful hind legs that it would use to power leaps, so it can sneak up on you and leap onto you and then grab you with its forelimbs. It has a little tail, probably just for display. If they're like lions, then they hunt in packs. And then for the head would have to be very robust, heavily built and powerful, a big, strong beak that it can use to crush your spine. If it hunts the same way that lions do, they kill their prey by biting it on the back of the neck. And so there we have a lion-like eagle. How about the other way? We could have a lion. It's going to behave like an eagle. It will have to be in the air, and it will have to be rather small. So if it's going to be like an eagle, it has to catch its prey while from above, from the air, you know. So I'm thinking about long legs. I'm thinking about a patagium. That's the skin flap that like flying squirrels have. Now, already this animal is small. So think like a flying squirrel, maybe even smaller than a house cat. It has a proportionally longer spine. This gives it more flexibility, more area for the skin flap, because it's going to need a lot of skin to hold up its body. I gave it a bit of bristly, tough hair back there. That might catch the air and help it to steer and control its descent. And then I'm thinking about its face. It's going to need a much longer muzzle in order to grab its prey. Cats, in general, grab their prey with their front paws, and then they only kill it by biting it. But this thing is going to grab its prey with its teeth. So it'll have a much longer muzzle. I did a little sketch there to make sure that I know what I'm doing. So I'm giving it a long snout here. It looks a bit dog-like, which I hadn't thought about before, but perhaps this is why dogs have longer muzzles than cats do, because dogs don't use their front paws to catch their prey. They use their teeth. I gave it longer ears. Maybe I was just thinking dogs at this point. I had some thoughts about bats in my head. I don't know. I don't know if the ears make any sense. But it has a mane, at least. And I thought about leaving it there. But then I think, you know what? I really do want this thing to fly and not just glide. So I thought about I didn't want to just make it a bat. That would be boring. But I thought about uh, dinosaurs like Yi and mammals like the Colugo, which have what's called a style, or a styliform process, I believe it's called with Yi, which is just a sort of needle-like projection of cartilage that projects. I think with Yi, it's off the wrist. Here, it's off of the elbow, and that thing can fold back, and it can fold forward. It can catch the air. It can be a real wing, and leave the rest of the front legs free and available to catch things with. So imagining this thing stooping out of the sky with its front paws, with their big claws coming out. It has, curved claws like a cat, because it is a cat. And here its styles are bent to catch the wind and slow it down as it. I thought originally about having it use its hind legs to catch its prey as well. And here's its tail, which is catching the air, helping it steer and control its attack. And then I thought, you know what, I don't want to make it too much like an eagle. I'll have it use its legs like a bat, where the legs are just sort of part of the wing. They control the lower part of the wing. The skin attaches to the ankle, and the legs can't grab anything. They're not very strong. So all the grabbing is done with the forepaws. And there's a little mouse there for it to eat. Oh no! Ah, and I forgot to give it a mane. There we go. There's the mane. So this design intrigued me. I'm thinking about what it might look like while at rest on the ground. It has these dinky little back legs. It can't use them to jump with. They're really just there to help control the flight surface. What I ended up with is something rather like a pterosaur, where the front legs are that uses the front legs to launch itself into the air by thrusting backward against the ground, and then it unfolds its wings and takes off. The difference is that it has its prey capturing raptorial claws on the front legs. And so that's pretty much what you get with evolution the way that we understand it, where a cat evolves into a flying predator evolves into a ground-based ambushing predator. But what if you literally had a wizard who combined two animals using magic, and then with magic they can breed and they can I guess hatch out or something, give birth to new griffins? Well, they would still be subject to natural selection. And if they're big, those wings, unless we invoke magic again, the wings probably can't hold it up in the air. So pretty quickly the wings become vestigial. They're used for display. It's knuckle walking on the feet of the eagle, and the feet really can bend that way. Its hind legs are like a lion. I couldn't think of anything interesting for them to do. And it has a lion tail back there. Honestly, my creativity abandoned me at this point, but I'm interested in seeing what you can do. Draw me a picture, make me a video. What would happen if you had some magically created griffins. Griffins, the way they appear in medieval illustrations, half eagle, half lion. We don't know. It doesn't matter where they came from, but if they escape into the wild and they breed there, in not too many generations, they're going to start to look different. What are they going to look like? I think that's a really interesting speculative evolution scenario. I want to see what you come up with. So that's it from me for this time. If you liked this video, please tell me so. If there's more interest, I will make more of these videos. So if you're interested, tell me. If you have more questions, send them to me, whatever way you can. And until next time, it's been an adventure.